Welcome, survivors. I'm so glad that you survived the night. I'm Nuggs, the final girl, if you didn't know, and I'm here with Kendra, the United Way of the Tri-Valley area. They bring people together to build strong, equitable communities where everyone can thrive. United Way helps local communities tackle tough challenges and work with private, public, and non-profit partners to address education, mobility, health resources, and more. If you live in Maine, there are 7 local United Ways that cover all of the counties, and that's just in the state of Maine alone. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
So can you tell me a little bit about what you do and what the United Way of the Tri-Valley area does?
So I am currently the executive director, new in my position as of July 1st.
Congrats.
I've been with United Way for 8 years. And this is a super exciting time. We have mustered through the pandemic and we're coming out on the other side, and have been able to get a lot of resources out into the community in the way of funding. And that's a big part of what United Way does. We raise funds and then put them back out into our local community. And we have a volunteer run center, so we work with volunteers, and we also direct people to local resources. So if they need like heating assistance, we can tell them where they can get that and stuff like that.
That is amazing. I'm so glad that you guys provide something to the community because it is definitely needed, especially in Maine, I feel.
Yes.
You guys are doing Halls of Horror, and it's going to be a haunted halls experience. Is there more about it that you can explain to us?
So Halls of Horror has been a long time in the making. I came to the board with the idea that we need to do something Halloween related for a fundraiser. We had fundraisers all other times of the year, and I myself and my family is super passionate about Halloween, huge fans of it. And I said, can we do something? And the first year, well, yeah, that probably would be good. We should look into it, and at the time there was only 2 of us. There was the executive director and myself.
Mm-hmm.
So not a lot of resources, and we rely heavily on volunteers, and
Yep.
there are heart and soul of a lot of these projects that we do. But in the 3rd year, I had a conversation actually at the time with the former manager of Tickum Mountain, which is a local ski mountain here in Farmington. We just came up with a great plan and presented it, and both boards were on board. And so we started over there at the mountain, actually doing a haunted ride. So people got onto, wagons and sat on hay bales and did that, and realized it was not great because it was weather dependent and trailers got stuck and and it was crazy. And then of course, so we switched that to a walk, and we did that out there for a few years, and really wanted to have an inside so that we're not weather dependent.
Mm-hmm.
and can work on things, because we all have such fantastic ideas floating around in our minds that we can now work on things year round, thanks to Area Youth Sports, AYS, for letting us use the building.
That is awesome. So with the having it inside, I feel like that's a very important thing, especially in Maine, because our weather can be changing in an instant. So I'm so glad that you guys have the ability to have it inside. So with this event, is it taking up the entire school of the old Livermore Falls facility, or?
It's not taking up the entire school. So there's a whole wing of classrooms and lockers and that stuff. Mm-hmm. That is going to be where the walkthrough is. But we will be using the gym and other parts of, there's actually a built-in concession area. And in the gym, we're going to have some activities that people can participate in while they're waiting if they would like.
That sounds awesome. And I did see that there was going to be obviously a 21 and over and beer tent type room or outside area.
Yes, that's correct. We haven't finalized if it's going to be outside or inside, but yes, there'll be a marked off area for people over 21 to have a beverage. A lot of them like to just sit and have a beverage if they don't want to go through, but their kiddo does or something like that. So we always like to offer that. And that is, like I said, a 21 and older, and it is a specific area and no one under that age can be allowed in, and they get a special bracelet after they're ID'd and all that stuff.
Perfect. So I have a question from one of our community members. This is from Jace Killjoy, and he was wondering if there are any sort of PTSD friendly attractions or walkthroughs where excuse me, where your haunters know that maybe this type of walkthrough is a little bit more jumpy or more acceptable to the jump scares.
As a rule of thumb, we don't touch people unless they purchase the hall pass. So if they purchase the hall pass, then they get a special glow, either bracelet or necklet, wherever they want to wear it. And so then our actors know, okay, this person wants to be touched. As far as PTSD with like loud noises and stuff, there are loud noises, and there are, strobe lights. We make sure that we put all of our warnings out on our Facebook and our website, and then of course at the event. And we've never been asked that. Like we've never had anyone come, but I'm sure that if somebody had come to us and said, I really want to go through, but that we could absolutely improvise. I mean, that's what we do all the time.
Right.
So, if somebody asked us that, I'm sure that we could, we have walkie talkies and we talk to each other. So we absolutely could probably, as best to our ability, do that.
Yeah. And I mean, with a haunt, there is a preconceived notion that there are going to be strobe lights and all of that stuff, because especially for a walkthrough, you kind of need that type of environment. So I'm glad that you guys are willing to potentially accommodate anyone that comes to this haunt. That's really awesome.
Absolutely.
One of the other community members, Casey Tony, wants to know how all out is this attraction going to be? Is there going to be lots of scare actors? Is it mostly just like walking through halls? And I don't want you to necessarily give anything away.
No, absolutely not. So we have some really great vetted actors that go all out. Not that I'm proud of this myself, but some of them actually keep track of how many people they make cry, how many people they make pee their pants. So they go for the PR each year for certain things. Definitely not rated for the young and squeamish, as we talk about. We have some really great makeup artists and some really great costumes and some really great behind the scenes. Nicholas Graham, who put on Wicked up in Mexico, which is a few towns over. The one that we actually contracted with to lay out our walk, and he has gone to a lot of huge haunts and stuff and brought back ideas and all that. You'll definitely get your money's worth and then some. And even the people that say, oh, I'm not scared, I won't be jumped, we've had a lot of those come out and be like, yeah, okay.
That's awesome. So speaking of age, what is your recommended age range for this haunt?
Yep. So we say 13 and older. Of course, it's at the parents' discretion. We have had some young kids like myself. I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like 7 or 8. As I'm sure, Nuggs, you might have been, doing similar things. Again, it's at the discretion, and some kids can handle it. And then there's some adults that think they can and they can't. So, that is our recommended age though.
Let's do some like rapid fire, real quick questions before we get into a little bit more of a spooky question. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Where is the Halls of Horror going to be taking place?
It is at the current AYS building, the former Livermore Falls High School at 25 Cedar Street in Livermore Falls.
In Maine.
In Maine, in Maine.
How much are tickets?
So general admission tickets are $20 each. And then we have a VIP ticket, which is $40. And that includes 2 free drinks and front of the line. And then there's our hall pass VIP ticket, which is $60. And that gets you 2 free drinks, VIP parking, and straight to the front of the line. And you can be touched for that experience.
So exciting. And how's the parking?
So we have so much room up there that thankfully this year we don't have to have parkers except for the VIP spots, which will be marked out. The high school down below is the old middle school. There's so much parking, and down below that's the superintendent's office. So there's more parking there, which is literally, I would say, probably a few thousand feet away. So we have plenty of parking.
That is amazing, because usually with haunts like this, especially in Maine, parking is not always the easiest. So I'm so glad that you guys have plenty, it sounds like, of parking.
We are super excited about that.
And then how late are you going?
So we are doing 6:30 to 10:30. And, you know, everyone goes through, and that's our hours. There's time slots that you can purchase online. So get them as soon as possible, because they do fill up. If there's a certain time slot you want, we have to cap it. So.
And what are the dates?
The Friday, the 21st of October, Saturday, the 22nd, and then on to the next Friday, the 28th, and then the 29th.
And has anyone had any spooky experiences setting up this haunt?
So it's funny that you asked that, because so I hadn't heard of any backstories of like any tragic things happening or anything like that would cause ghosts or something. But after talking with the AYS board, you know, they talk about, you know, being in the gym or in the school late after, you know, football practice or something, and they're closing things up, and they'll swear they hear people talking in the gym, and they'll be like 2 of them there, and they'll walk out and nobody's there. Well, ever since we've been setting up, when we're setting up and it's all noisy, it's all good, right? Then when you go to shut down and it's like just me and my coworker, or me and my husband shutting everything down, you start to hear noises. And the other night we had a volunteer that was there with us, and he starts walking up towards the other end, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, Billy, what are you doing? And he's like, there's voices. He goes, is somebody else here? And I said, nobody's here. Everyone's out. And so I walked up with him. He goes, no, there's somebody out there. So we walked up and walked out. There was nobody there. It was completely black. He goes, I swear to God, there was somebody out there talking, Kendra. And you hear all these noises. It is, without us being in there with the lights off, it is spooky as heck. Oh,
I bet. Gosh. Pitch black. Much. Now, where can they find Halls of Horror to get tickets, and where can they find you, the United Way of the Tri-Valley area?
On our website, UWTVA, stands for United Way Tri-Valley Area.org. So UWTVA.org, they can get tickets. They can look us up on Facebook, Halls of Horror Maine, but Halls of Horror Maine on Facebook. And we do have a website. It's a long one, but you can get there through UWTVA.org. And we ourselves here are located at 218 Fairbanks Road in Farmington. And anyone can call 778-5048, option number 4. And whoever answers will be able to answer the question. I really appreciate, Nuggs, you taking the time to talk with us, because this is going to be just being a fan of the season and the spooks and the scares, and wanting to put on a really good show for people, and following what you do. And this is just A, right up your alley, and B,
perfect, yeah.
Going to be just a fabulous, fun, freaky time for everybody.
I'm very excited. I've been wanting to shine a light on local haunts, because I feel like Maine in particular doesn't get necessarily the love that it deserves, because we are so far away from everyone else. So I'm so glad that you agreed to talk to me about this event.
And next, I just want to throw in 2 more things I just thought of.
Please.
Maybe 3. Okay. So 1, thank you. And yes, and just to let everyone know, the proceeds that we do get from this go back into the community. So, you know, it's not like, you know, there's a lot of home ones and stuff, which we did when our kids were young, and it's great and stuff, but all of these proceeds go back into helping families and stuff. We have tons of different programs, which anyone can check out on our website, but 100% of the proceeds go back into the community. So we're really proud of that. And secondly, it's not typical. A lot of people think, oh, United Way is doing a haunted thing. Not sure how well that really would be and how good that is. But last year when people came through, there was a couple that have gone to, I mean, they've even traveled out to Texas and stuff for different huge haunts and haunt world and stuff, and just said that we were right up there with the ones like that. So, oh my gosh, that was so exciting. And this year we are adding I don't know if you've ever heard of the Final Ride. That is a feature that we are putting in off the gym. And you get into a coffin.
Ooh.
And you can either go in by yourself or you can go in with a friend. And you take your final ride, go into the hearse, and you go into the ground, and you can hear the dirt being put on you, and you smell smells, and you know, it's gonna be epic.
That sounds amazing and so scary.
Yep. The whole time there's a camera, so people are watching on the outside what your reactions are.
That is so cool. What a cool experience for not only the person in the coffin, but the spectators. This definitely seems like a full-fledged, fully scary event, and I'm so excited. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As always, I'm Nuggs the Final Girl. Like, share, follow, and subscribe for more horror content. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.